When Stan arrived at my apartment, everything was ready. There were several bottles of wine on the table, 2 wine glasses per person, a pitcher of water, and a stack of notepaper and pens as specified by my father. My parents, who were visiting me in San Diego, were taking wine tasting classes back home in Western Pennsylvania and were eager to show off their newfound knowledge. This was back in the 80s when the Napa Valley wine industry was booming and people of all kinds were learning the esoteric language of enophiles. But not Stan. He'd grown up in a working-class Japanese-American family in San Diego with parents who didn't imbibe every night, like mine did. We were in that deranged state of early relationship where I'd go to the Forum in LA to watch a hockey game because he loved Wayne Gretzky, and he'd come to a wine tasting in my apartment even though he hated wine. My parents had met him briefly the night before, and it hadn't gone so well. He'd stopped by in his favorite t-shirt, which said, "Resist illegitimate forms of authority." And somehow, in the space of 5 minutes, managed to quote Noam Chomsky twice. I didn't even want to invite him, but my parents, who were compulsively cordial, insisted. We had just gone through a rough 15 years when I was rejecting their bourgeois lifestyle, and they, in turn, were rejecting me. But finally, I'd gotten a good job and moved to a cool city, and they were excited about helping me decorate my apartment. They were in the home furnishing business, and it was practically their favorite thing to do. When the doorbell rang, I asked Stan to get it. At my request, he was wearing a button-down shirt because I said we might go out to dinner later in La Jolla, the oldest and richest part of San Diego, and the one they loved best because it had real sidewalks and curbs. They came in laden with wine and groceries, including heirloom tomatoes and squash blossoms from Chino Farms, the organic farm stand in northern San Diego County made famous by Alice Waters, that even then probably cost $100. I put it all away, then we sat down around the coffee table, Stan and me on my new white upholstered sofa, and Mom and Dad in a pair of whimsical wicker accent chairs. Dad explained the rules. Pay attention to the aroma, swirl it around in your mouth, then write down what you think on these slips of paper, and we'll read them out loud. The first one we sampled was a chilled white. It's buttery, Mom said. With hints of oak, Dad said. Vanilla-y, I said. Good, Stan said. Then we tried another white. Tastes like grapefruit, Mom said. Crisp, Dad said. Light. Citrusy, I said. Good, Stan said. Then Dad poured a red into our second glass. Acidic, he said. Zesty, Mom said. Fruity, I said. Good, Stan said. In all, we tried 3 reds and 3 whites. Dad made a list of the ones we rated best and told me to keep it in my wallet so I'd always know what to buy. Then they left. They had to get up early to make their connection to LAX, where they were meeting a Harvard alumni group going to Indonesia. Stan and I cleaned up, Then he asked me if I wanted to take a long walk on the beach and end up at our favorite Chinese restaurant, where dinner for two came to $12, tip included. Nah, I said, let's just eat here. I have instant ramen. So he put on the Cure and New Order, and I boiled water for the noodles, and we sat down at my stylish rattan dinette set and polished off half-empty bottles of a fruity Zinfandel and a Chardonnay with tones of butter.